Loving and reverential pranams at the divine lotus feet. Esteemed elders, brothers and sisters, a most loving Sai Ram to one and all. Today, I have the great honor and privilege of introducing our speaker, Sister Geeta Mohan Ram. Geeta was born into a family of devotees whose lives have revolved around Swami for 5 generations, and to a family who recognized Swami's divinity since 1943. Geeta grew up in the divine presence of our beloved Lord and has had innumerable and soul-stirring experiences with Swami as family member, guide, guru, close friend, and beloved Lord. She was appointed by Swami to be a Bal Vikas guru at the age of 14 and had the rare privilege of serving as Swami's scribe during the formalization of the Bal Vikas curriculum. Since then, she has served in several roles in the Sai organization, including SSC coordinator and vice president of the South Bethesda Center. She is now a member of the Zone 1 Advisory Committee and of the Zone 1 Ladies Committee. Sister Geeta is a familiar personality and a household name to many across the globe. Her talks have been a source of inspiration for many devotees for more than 2 decades now. Her talks are very uplifting and have been an agent of personal transformation in the lives of numerous devotees, and I must add, a catalyst also. Sister Geeta is blessed with an incredible memory, inimitable speaking style, and a profound understanding of Swami's message. I now call on Sister Geeta Mohan Ram to address us. Welcome, Sister Geeta. Sai Ram.
Mukam karoti vachalam, panghum langhayate grim, yat krupa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam. Offering my most reverential and humble pranams at the lotus feet of our ever-present beloved Swami. I should say respected elders, but I think I'm one of the oldest people over here. Especially after listening to Ame, I feel quite ancient. Respected elders, sisters, brothers, fellow members on the same boat of the spiritual journey. Wasn't this just a wonderful morning with the beautiful bhajans? And then to see Ame speak so well, I remember myself as a mother. Whenever anyone in the Sai Center or anywhere else, if I was not present and somebody would come and tell me, my 2 sons, I have twin sons, Arun and Varun, oh, they sang so well, or they did a workshop so beautifully, I would feel so full of joy, my mother's heart would be filled with joy at the fact that my sons, at least in that moment, had lived up to what Swami expects of all of us. Today I'm sitting there looking at this picture of Swami, and I was thinking, Swami, how your heart must be filled and overflowing with joy to see this young man speak so beautifully of you, understood what you have said, and tried his very best to put it into his life. What a proud moment. What a proud moment for Swami. What a proud moment for Swami. Whenever he said anything to us in the interview room about the boys in the university or the girls, he would say, Mana pillalu, our children. Our children. So the desire for all of us to become his Mana pillalu, to become his children, is so strong within our hearts, isn't it? So thank you very much for inviting me here. I do want to say, I respectfully say Sai Ram to our national president, Balu, whom I also know as a young man, his wife, who is so supportive of all the work that he does, of Vinny and her husband, I'm sure, who supports her, who are taking care of this region in Swami's name, and all of the other office bearers in the Sai Global Council centers and regions for all the work that you're doing. So Sai Ram to all of you. So Amey started off so beautifully, isn't it, of how to reflect and resolve and recharge. And as I sat there, I was thinking, wow, you know how recharged I feel just listening to him. And in my mind, I was thinking, where can we find a soul that's so filled with recharged energy from Swami that the whole life becomes that of Swami's? And I was thinking about it. I have a whole lot of course, Sai uncles and aunties that I saw when I was a kid who lived their lives for Swami. In the old days of Puttaparthi, it was funny to hear him talk about the arches on the sand. I come from a Puttaparthi that used to have crabs all the way from Prashanti Nilayam to Chitravati when we had to walk with Swami to the Chitravati river banks. And he would keep saying, crab, 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 so that we wouldn't step on it as there were no lights, so that the crabs wouldn't bite our feet and we would cross over it. And I used to have one aunt, and I must remember her, she would walk backwards in front of Swami because she would not want to miss even a single word that Swami would say. So all the way from Prashanti Nilayam up to Chitravati river, she would walk backwards. And Swami would say, Subhadrama, he would say, and there would be a crab, and she would make sure she didn't step on those. So I come from that old Puttaparthi. So as I was thinking, I remember two wonderful beings that came into my life, even as a child, that were constantly recharged, even if they had a sight or a glimpse of Swami's hair from a distance. One of them was Sai Geeta. Swami named me Sai Geeta, named me Geeta many years ago. Sai Geeta came into Swami's fold after I was born. So Swami would always say, I have only named you Geeta, don't become like Sai Geeta in size. So that was the constant reminder of my children. Neekurke Geeta ani peru petnan, Sai Geeta ka danavalu kavaddu. Don't become like that Sai Geeta. You have named you. But that he meant physically. But how much I wished that I could become like Sai Geeta. I don't know, you all know, you have seen beautiful pictures of Swami and her trunk around Swami, Swami standing next to Sai Geeta. But I remember Sai Geeta as a little baby elephant. She used to run around the mandir 3 times with the Mahut. At that time his name was Murali. There was a Mahut who looked after her, the guy who looked after the elephant. And every morning, Sai Geeta would be brought around 4:30 or 5 in the morning. We didn't have Nagar Sankirtan in those days. So we as kids had to get up and be up and about early because there was only a very few rooms in Prashanti Nilayam. What you now see as South Prashanti, there were about 8 or 9 rooms there. One of the rooms belonged to us, or rather my grand uncle, my father's uncle, Sri Sheshagiri Rao, who became the first priest of Prasanthi Nilayam. He was not a priest by profession. Swami made him into a priest. He was an engineer or an overseer, as they used to call in those days. But Swami, so one room was his, the next room was Kasturi Garu's room, and then one of the rooms was given to Venkatagiri Raja of those times. So those were some of the rooms that were given. Anyway, so there was no space for us to sleep in that room. We would all go, Bengaluru Gumpu, Swami used to say, Bangalore crowd. So the Bangalore crowd, we were all relatives, we would all go there, about 20, 25 of us. There was no Sevadal, there was no all the system that you see now. So we were the Sevadal, not really needing Sevadal in those days. We were the cooks. My aunts were the ones who prepared the food for Swami as well as for all of us. So we were the people who put the rangoli for the functions, whether it was Navaratri or birthday. There was no such a clear distinction of men's area and women's area, because most of us were all family members. So it was all uncles and aunts and cousins. So in that small room that was there, which was, I don't even know the size, very small, maybe the size of that stage where you see the monitor, or a little bit bigger than that. The only thing we could keep in that room was a stove, a kerosene stove, and all our suitcases which we took from Bangalore. Those would be in the room. In that room, the 2 or 3 older aunts would cook for all of us. And we all were, the way we were given food, many of you, if anybody knows Kannada, especially the children, they gave us what they call kaituttu, which is basically they will mix the rice and the sambar, and all the kids would sit in a circle, and one of the older aunts will just spoon out one to each hand, and we would eat it, put out our hand, eat it, put out our hand. The reason for that was there was no room to keep 25 plates. There was no place to wash those 25 plates. The leaves were there, the green leaves were there, but there was no proper place to dispose it. We would have to go up on the hills where you all have the university now, where we had to dispose these leaves. So nobody wanted to go so far in the heat of that puttaparthi. So we were all quite happy because the only thing you had to wash was your hand. Nothing else. And even the water, there was no water in that room. We had to draw the water from the well where you see the big Gopuram gate now. There was a well there. We had to draw the water. So this was our life in Puttaparthi. Nobody complained. We had a great time. And into this Puttaparthi, this little Sai Geeta baby elephant arrived. She was more exciting to us than Swami. Because Swami was there with us all the time. But Geeta, there were very specific times. She would come in the morning and she would do her little circumambulation around the mandir. Swami would give darshan and then she would be taken away to her shed, come back again in the afternoon. So, but she was a baby and very naughty, and she would want to run around the mandir. And as I said, we had no place to sleep in the room, right? So we all used to sleep on the sand under the eucalyptus trees, where you now have the car parking for all of you professors and so on and so forth. There were about 15 eucalyptus trees, and that's the entrance through which the ladies come also inside. There is a little tulsi plant there. We used to sleep under the eucalyptus tree, and this little baby elephant would come thundering on that sand. There were no walls, it was just sand everywhere, and if we were not awake when she came, she would be running all over us. So we would be woken up, Geeta vastundi leyendi means not me. That elephant will be coming, get up, get up, get up. Everybody used to wake us up. So around 3 o'clock in the morning we used to get up, and you know where we all, if ever you all go to Prasanthi Nilayam and complain, don't complain, think of me. Because you know where we had to go to take our bath? Along the way to Chitravati, there were no shops, but there were a few stalls which was built with these coconut leaves, and there these village ladies would boil huge cauldrons of boiling hot water. They would bring the water from Chitravati and fill it up, these big tanks, and they would have the wood logs to boil the water, and they would boil the water. We had to get up at 3 because Swami would come out of his room very, very early in those days. So before Swami came, it didn't matter if you were a 1-year-old baby. We were woken up, given a bath, and we were in proper shape by the time Swami came. So we were taken there to these little stalls and these boiling water. There's no light. There's a little lantern at 3:30 in the morning. The woman dishes out some few jugs of water into a bucket. And you had to go behind a stall. And the covering for that stall used to be the saris we were going to wear. There was no door. There was no curtain. There was some raggedy old curtain that nobody would want to touch. So we would take an extra sari just to put it on top and get behind. But when we went there, we couldn't take our bath. Because the boiling water, it used to be boiling, and we would ask her, please, can you give us some cold water? Because we have to get back before Swami wakes up, and she won't give you cold water even if you pay. Because she has to go to Chitravati to bring the cold water. So whatever cold water she brought, she would boil it, because that was the money-making thing for her. 25 paise per bucket. So every little drop of water, she would boil it. So she could charge whoever we were to boil. So we had to sit there on one stone in the dark, and we would be scared what will crawl on our legs, because you cannot see. We are sitting on a stone waiting for the water to cool to a temperature where we can take a bath. So this used to. So we would be woken up at 3 in the morning, and our excitement would be that any moment now Sai Geeta will come from her shed. So we'd all be near that eucalyptus trees, and she would come running and thundering around and go 3 times around. By that time, Sai Geeta would have been taken to the Chitravati river, given a bath nicely. Of course, it was a big problem for poor Murali, I remember, because she was a baby. He would give her a bath, put nice vibhuti lines on her forehead. She would come out of the water, take all the sand on the Chitravati river and put it on herself again. Again take her back. Vaddu Geeta, don't do this, this poor fellow. She would keep putting sand on herself. Anyway, she would give a bath and come. So this Geeta, who would be running around and making all her funny trumpeting sounds, she would be standing. You will all know the interview room that Swami used to give interviews in, diagonally opposite. Of course, right in front of the building was that big circle, I think one of the videos showed just now, where the Veda people, much later, used to say their Vedas there inside that circle. But there was no circle also in those days. So she used to stand by the side, and she would be waiting for Swami to come out of that interview room. And we would all be just under the banyan tree or playing. There was no bhajan at that time. There was no Veda chanting in music and all that. We would be just waiting for Swami playing, doing something. And these elders would be getting ready in the room, in that small little room. And suddenly, this elephant, who would be just standing there, swinging her thing, pouring sand over herself, suddenly her ears would flatten out. Swami Vachri, Swami Vachri, Swami Vachri. That was the indication given to everybody in the rooms, in those 8 rooms. Swami has come, Swami has come. We could not see Swami. We could not hear Swami. The door is not open yet. But this elephant, this baby elephant, was so tuned to Swami that the moment Swami from his bedroom came down to that interview room, windows were not open, this elephant's ears had straightened out. That was our Omkar. We knew Swami has come down from his room by watching Sai Geeta's ears. How tuned she was to him. How every fiber of hers was tuned. We knew that. So where were we? We would be either standing, and we would all run near that interview room, because first morning darshan, that would be our morning darshan. The older people would have had the most wonderful opportunity to have gone upstairs to Swami's dining room to give him coffee. In those days, Swami used to drink coffee. So they would have had, but we kids, we would be here because we are more interested in Sai Geeta. And as the ears straightened, we would go. So that was Sai Geeta. But as we observed her, She would follow him. She would get very agitated if she could not see him, and Swami would be walking around there giving instructions. Those were still the early days when there were no buildings. And of course, the Sanatana Sarathi office had just started, the Sanatana Sarathi 58 or 59, I think. And Swami would go to Sanatana Sarathi. In those days, the Sanatana Sarathi only contained Swami's writings, nothing else. So Swami would go there to check. Kasturi Garu, in charge of it, would show Swami, all of those things. So but she would be from a distance, stand at a distance and trumpet for Swami. So this is the Sai Geeta I remember. And I remember once in Brindavan, she used to walk from Prashanti Nilayam to Bangalore. When Swami used to come, Murali, it used to take 3 days to bring this elephant from Puttaparthi to Brindavan in Bangalore. And she would sleep in the forest, wooded areas. Those times it was not, these highways were not there, lot of wooded areas. She would sleep there. Murali would sleep next to her and bring her. So there was a little... Did I do something? Okay. I think Swami is telling me something, but I'll try to figure it out. But in any case, I think he's saying you're taking too long to get to your point. But anyway, so she used to come, and in Brindavan there was a shed for her. One particular year, my aunts and my family, my granduncle started the Akhanda Bhajans. The first Akhanda Bhajan was started by them in 1944. So 44, 45, I think. The reason for that is they all went and saw Swami in 1943. They were all good singers. They would sing songs in those days, not the bhajans that we sing now. And they enjoyed in Puttaparthi. And when they came back to Bangalore, they said, we miss that nice satsang, that bhajans that we used to sing in front of Swami. And they all started a bhajan on Thursday by rotation in each house. It went on for 1 year. And one of the aunts said, we have continuously done bhajan every Thursday for 1 year. Let us celebrate it as the first year anniversary and do a 24-hour bhajan. So that's how they started the Akhanda Bhajan in 1945. So after that, and when they started the Akhanda Bhajan, they all, they were very, very middle-class people, just a few 15, 20 family members. They just wanted to do the bhajan at home. So they wrote to my granduncle who was living with Swami in Puttaparthi, saying, please ask for Swami to bless our effort. We want to do a 24-hour bhajan. Please ask Swami to bless. They did not want Swami to come there and all that. They did not have accommodation to accommodate Swami. They did not have money to rent halls. This was also under British rule in those days, India. So it was, and they had to do everything without curfew. They could not go to house when there was curfew. So they had so many problems. So they wrote, please tell Swami we are planning to do this. So he wrote back saying that Swami may want to come or something to Bangalore. So these people are like, no, we really don't want him to come, Just blessings are more than enough because that's easier. For most of us, that's the thing in life. Blessings are there, it's easy. If he starts coming into our life, like Amay was saying, then we have to live that life. That is more difficult. It's easier, Swami says it's easier to worship God as picture. But to worship picture as God is more difficult because you have to change your life, transform your life. So anyway, these were also in that stage only. They said, no, we want to do Akhanda Bhajan. But they got a telegram from Penukonda saying, Bailder Namo. We have already left Puttaparthi. So he has arrived. So that's how the first Akhanda Bhajan started. So after that, for 25 years, up to the year of 1974, it was our family bhajan. And Swami used to come from Puttaparthi and stay in our house, in my father's house, mainly in the later years. In the early years, in my aunt's house, he used to stay. And these were all very, very traditional South Indian ladies. They used to do Thursday to Friday. So they would start the bhajan Thursday morning after Rahu Kalam, go on till Friday morning. Swami would do Abhishek to his Shirdi Baba form, and then they would do Arati to Swami, and that's how started. In one of the years of the Akhanda Bhajans, in the 50s, after I made my entry, I had the great good fortune to go wherever Swami went. By that time, my father had a car. So Swami did not have a car in the earlier days. He had a small Morris Minor, which most of the time didn't have petrol, some problem, because in Puttaparthi there was no gas station or anything. So whenever we went to Puttaparthi, Swami used to come in our car, or Nagamanamma, who is the Divan's wife, she used to send the car, or Vittal Rao, many of you may know Jayama, her father, their cars are like that. So Swami used to come in our car for Akhanda Bhajan, and when I was a small kid, I had the good fortune, wherever Swami went, he used to take me along in the car. I was a small kid. So when bringing him to our house for the Akhanda Bhajan, my father, my mother and my aunt, the elderly aunt, and myself, we all went to bring him for the Akhanda Bhajan. It used to be we used to bring him with Purna Kumbham, with Haldi, Kumkum plate, really how you would welcome Bhagwan. So we went there to bring him. So once few people were there in early mornings in Vrindavan, early in the morning. So he gave a quick darshan, and he was getting ready to get into the car to leave. And suddenly we could hear, by now Sai Geeta was a little bit more grown up Sai Geeta. And we could hear her trumpeting, must have been heard for miles, She was just continuously trumpeting. And so Swami, who was talking to all of us inside that old bungalow, Vrindavan bungalow, he said, oh, this Sai Geeta, somehow she comes to know when I leave. And she gets so agitated, she starts trumpeting like this. And it is very difficult for the Mahut, because though she is such a huge animal, she does not harm him or harm anybody. But she goes on hunger strike. She doesn't eat anything till I come back. So Swami was also feeling, the motherly heart, the divine mother, saying how to leave the Sai Geeta for 3 days. Like I said, these were traditional people. He would come on Wednesday. Thursday, Akhanda Bhajan starts after Raho Kalam. Friday, with Abhishekam and Aarti, it gets over. Nobody will allow Swami to leave. They will say, no, Swami, Friday we will not send you from our home. Fridays we don't do Visarjana, send God. No Friday going home. So Swami also was young and listened to all these people only on Saturday evening, that if you say morning, it will go to lunch. After lunch only, Swami, without lunch, how can we send you? So this would go on like this, and Swami would leave on Saturday. Anyway, he was to come for 3 days, and this trumpeting started, and it was impossible to even hear each other talking. And Swami came, and his suitcase was loaded into the car and everything. And then he said, no, let me go and tell her, that to be a little calm, I will be back. She gets very agitated. So Swami went to the back of Vrindavan, that old bungalow. There was a shed there for her. She went in there. Swami went in there. As soon as she saw Swami trumpeting loudly, how would she, we think she's a lower being or whatever we in our ego may think. How did she know Swami was leaving the premises? Nothing, there is no indication. So quietly Swami would come. She is trumpeting, and Swami, I can still see the picture, as Amay so beautifully said. Some of these impressions and moments that you have enjoyed in your spiritual heart, you can never erase it, and you can relive it over and over again. And I remember all of us, I was a small child and my brother was a young fellow. We ran, and my father and everybody walked with Swami to the shed. And Swami is touching her on the cheek. Geeta, Urkundu. He says, be quiet, stop this noise. What is this? Tears are rolling down her eyes, and she is trumpeting. Even Swami's ears, so close to his ears, and he is patting her. And then he says, see, I'm going, today is only Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday vachestano. He's telling, I'm going to like a small child, I'll be back on Saturday, stop crying, I'm not going anywhere, Puttaparthi potale, I'm not going to Puttaparthi, I'm just going, he pulls my father, Padmanabh intuk potunnanante, I'm just going to Padmanabh's house. And then he is explaining to her I'm going for Akhanda Bhajan. If I'm always with you, what about the other devotees? They all want to see me. They all want to enjoy my presence. If I'm always with you, won't they feel sad? They're all crying like you. They want me. I'll just go for 3 days. He's talking like this. But that Sai Geeta, he says, okay, now I'll go. You have a little food now. I don't want you to do any strike on this Murli. No saying no food. Eat now. And that Murli brings, that jaggery and rice they used to mix nice into balls. And Swami used to feed her many times. Eat, like a small child who's throwing a tantrum. She turns her face away from it. Tino, eat, Swami says. She'll turn. Oh, eat now, otherwise I'm going to get angry with you. You can't stay like this. And then he jokes also. Nobody will say you are an elephant. You will become so thin. Eat, Swami is saying. She's not eating, on strike. Then Swami says, okay, then if you're not going to eat, go. I am also angry with you. I'll go away. He says, he turns away and she just puts her trunk around his delicate form and draws him to his side. So gently, without hurting him, draws him and holds him like this. Won't let him go. She's an elephant. Even Swami can't move her trunk out of the way. She's so strong. Everybody is getting scared. What is this elephant doing? She's drawing this small, beautiful form close to her. All the elders will tell you, this Swami has got this animal buddhi will not go. These people are all getting very agitated because they don't know what she will do. But she's gently. Vidu Geeta. I cannot forget this phrase. Vidu Geeta. Vidu Geeta. Let me go, Geeta. Let me go, Geeta. Let me. The more Swami says Vidu Geeta, the closer she draws. Vidu Geeta. Vidu Geeta. Then you know what Swami says? See, this triggered from his talk. He says, Nanni vidu anile, ee dehanni vidu untunnanu. I am not asking you to let me go. I am only asking you to let this body go. I have to go. Duty undi kadu naku. I have duty. Vidu Geeta. After almost 20 minutes of Swami pleading, Vidu Geeta, finally she says, Vastanu Bangaru, I'll come back. You eat now one. And then the trump card that Swami used. Okay, you are not going to eat. 3 days, I will go to Padmanabh's house. Everybody will be very unhappy. I also won't eat. When I come back, I will eat. When you eat. Immediately, that elephant takes the ball out of that Murli's hand and eats it. You see her love. See her love. You ate? Good girl. Vachestanu. This particular incident, I may have narrated it many times, but every time I narrate it, I cannot forget that image of Swami pleading with a devotee who loves him so much that he's bound by that devotion. He's bound by the devotion. He himself could. Is it not easy for Swami to say, take out your trunk? She would have listened to his command. But he could not break away from the bonds of love that she created for him, the bonds of bhakti that she put around his waist. And he was pleading with her, Vidu Geeta, don't let me go. Nanni vidu and chappaledu. I did not ask you to leave me. I only said, let go of this body soul, because this body has duties to perform. So that is the kind of resolve that we must have. That whatever we do in our lives, we have to develop the kind of resolve that even the Lord cannot move away from us. We have to bind Him with our love, bind Him with our devotion, and bind Him with the changes that we bring into our lives, so that He has to say, don't let me go. Just let go of the attachments that you have to this world. It may be my body. It may be the many things that we own. It may be our children. It may be our house. For each of us, it's a different thing. That's what Swami said. Let that go, but hold on to me. So, I remember once, when I first came to the US, there used to be a very ardent devotee of Swami in New York called Al Honig. Some sisters here may know him. Al Honig. He was a wonderful Sai devotee in New York. And he used to sing that bhajan, hold on, hold on. Some of you may know that bhajan and maybe you can sing it. I am not a singer. But when I first heard that song, hold on, don't let him go. Things may look dark for you, but still don't let him go. I would always think of this particular instant of Sai Geeta. So we want to bind him. But how can we bind him? It's only when we can transform ourselves into that Sai Geeta filled with devotion, who was willing to even stop eating or doing anything unless she had him. When he himself had to say, no, I promise I will come back to you. I will never leave you. I will come back to you. It's only 3 days. Give me permission for this body to move away from you. What a lovely devotee. What a lovely devotee for all of us to emulate. The other 2 devotees, I know many of you have heard, nowadays in this day of technology, as Swami used to call technology, all of you have heard talks of not only me, of Amey or any of the other speakers, and many times we all repeat ourselves. And once I asked Swami, all these experiences throughout the life, I cannot make up anymore. I am saying the same things in all these retreats, same stories, same instances, same messages. After 10 years, I told him, 10 years I have been speaking, Swami. Is it enough now? Shall I stop? And he looked at me in that interview. 10 years itself you got tired. For 60 years I'm telling the same thing. Nobody is changing. You are already bored after 10 years. Bhagavatam vinte bhagavatam. He said, if you listen to the Lord's stories, you become a better person. Chaptu potundu. Ne chappe varaku. He said, keep on speaking. So here I am. So one other incident which I, again from my childhood, remember. Just as these youngsters from the college used to go with Swami to Kodaikanal, to the hills in the years, when we were children, Swami used to take us to Horsley Hills. There was a bungalow there, one of the Sai devotees had given Swami, and it was a British style bungalow. And in the Horsley Hills, Swami in the summer, when Puttaparthi got really hot, especially after Guru Purnima, he would take us, and we would have school holidays, and sometimes in March also, because our schools used to close in April. So sometime in April, Swami used to come to Bangalore. There was still time, right after birthday, he used to be in Bangalore, and then he would go back for Guru Purnima. In those days, in Prashanti Nilayam, only 4 festivals were celebrated. Guru Purnima, Swami's birthday, Navaratri, and Shivaratri. And of course, Vaikuntha Ekadashi, he used to celebrate with small groups of people. So, he was in Bangalore, and suddenly he said, Andru Veltam. Hills, Horsley Hills. So we'll all go. So excitement, in 2 days' time, we are all going to go with Swami to Horsley Hills. So few cars all got, Swami chose who were to go. There were not that many people. So most of the people, about 20 people, 25 people, everybody, Swami said, we'll all go on such and such a day. So everything was ready. Exciting days, when we would all, there were 4 or 5 days time Swami would give. So all the mothers, my aunts, and they will make all the murukku and kodbale and all these snacks to give Swami on the way, because it's a 7.5 hour, 8-hour drive. So we would stop, and Swami would go and bring all the apples and things, and then carry lunch and breakfast and lunch and dinner, so that when Swami stops, whatever that meal we could serve him, everything was ready. And of course, if Swami says we leave at 5:30, we better be there at 4:30. If you're not there, he will leave you behind. That was the rule. So everybody is ready. We all went to Horsley Hills over there. Amongst us was Padma Aunty, Kasturi Garu's daughter, I think, Kasturi uncle. All of us, we went. And beautiful time. Swami in the evenings would give a small discourse. In the mornings, there would be bhajans, and there would Ramu and Lakshmana from Chennai. Those were the famous Carnatic musicians. They also, I think, came. Music was there, bhajans was there. Swami was generally with everybody. Like I said, there was no highly restricted time frame at that time. Swami would be with us all the time. So we would go for walks. Sometimes he'll say, we'll eat outside today under the tree. So all the blankets were put out. So 10 days of just sheer bliss. Bhajan, Swami talking to everybody. He used to be there all the time. Even in Puttaparthi of my days, I described that small room to you. Swami would finish his breakfast and come there, and he will sit in the room. You know what the seat was for Swami? What a lovely Lord we have. No chair, because there is no place to put a chair, first of all. So all our trunks, you call them suitcases from Bangalore, we used to have two suitcases, one next to the other piled. So consistently these aunties will put some nice silk cloth, they'll put 2 pillows and a cloth over it, because we don't know when Swami will come. And Swami will come and sit on those trunks. And he will sit there, and these ladies have to cook in that small place. They are cooking for Swami's lunch also, with that one stove. He would be there all the time, and they are all very nervous to cook with Swami hovering over them while they are making. What are you making for me today? Sambara. What sambar? Kamalamana. Is Kamalamma making? Who is making? So this person is even more stressed out. You'll put more salt or something for Swami. So he is there all the time. I remember I used to have a very old aunt. You will have heard me talk about her in my other talks, for whom that Vibhuti came through that telephone. That aunt, she knew Swami since he was 5-year-old boy, because her husband was the priest in that temple there, Shiva temple there. So she knew. So she would treat him like a child actually. And then she'll say, Appa, du intik po. Please go home, she will tell Swami. If you are all the time here behind us, who is to do the work? We have to cook for you. We have to go to Chitravati to wash our clothes. We have to wash the dishes. There is no water here. If you are always sitting on this trunk, how are we going to do? You go and do something else for a little while. Go. Who would have thought the days would come when we will wait for hours to get a glimpse? He used to tell us, Savitrakka, her name was Savitramma. He used to call her Akka. So he said, oh, Savitrakka, see, you are scolding me and telling me one day will come. You will say, my eyes have gone. You are so far away. I can't see you. You will plead. At that time, I won't come near you. See, you watch. She will say, who will come to this village, Appa? Who will come to this village? Stones everywhere. There is no road. We have to come in the bullock cart. It takes us 10 hours to come from Bangalore to Parthi. Who will come here? Nobody will come. Maakemo pichi nin nammesnam. He says, we are crazy. We believed you. She used to talk like this to him. Popa. So this Swami, we have taken him to Horsley Hills. He's with us all the time. What are you cooking? What are you doing? I even remember in my mother's house, when Swami used to stay with us, our kitchen was there, and right next to the kitchen was our prayer room, our puja room in my dad's house. And when Swami was staying with us, because we didn't want too much noise happening in the kitchen and wake him up, because very early they used to start cooking, they used to sit in the puja room, which was right next to the kitchen, and string the beans, cut the vegetables and all in that small room, so as not to disturb Swami. And I remember once, Swami came in the kitchen and says, hey, this kitchen is so clean, no food today for me, is it or what? No, Swami, it's still 6 o'clock, we are ready for coffee. He says, no, but where are all the vegetables? Raja Reddy is there, this is come, Bhagavanta Mastunad, Kasturi Osam, where is the food? We'll get it ready, Swami, we'll get it ready. Then he'll open the door in the puja. Oh, you're all sitting here and cutting the vegetables. Show me how you cut so nicely. And he would sit with one of the aunts and try to cut the vegetables also. Show me like that. Anyway, so this is the Swami that we all had. So we are there in Horsley, I haven't forgotten. So we are there, and 10 days of bliss. I don't know, even that word bliss does not even describe that also. We didn't know what was bliss. We just knew we had no other thought other than Swami. And if that is bliss, that is what we had. No other thought. Nobody thought about the house. Nobody thought about the husband, wife, children. I don't know how we youngsters got ready in the morning. Mothers never asked us, have you eaten? Did you drink? Nothing. Somehow we managed to survive. We were there. They were there. Swami was there. 10 days was over. Then 10 days, Swami said, tomorrow we have to leave. Like he said, everybody is, no, Swami. A few more days we'll stay, Swami. No, we have to go back now. I have to go to Puttaparthi. Guru Purnima is coming. Anyway, we know all good things must end. So tomorrow morning we have to get ready. So everybody got ready to cook the food for next days, keep everything ready. Like I said, they were very traditional people. No offering what we cook today for Swami tomorrow and all that is not there. So they used to get up at 2, 3 in the morning. Everybody, Swami said, we leave at 6 a.m. By the time we reach Bangalore, it will become 6 p.m. in the evening. So everybody be ready. Everybody is getting into the car and all the cars are ready in the portico of that building. Swami comes, he's about to get into the car. And he said, Andru kuchondi vastani. Everybody sit, I will come. Gets out of the car and starts walking to the back of the room. I know you have all heard, but this is again reliving the moment. Started to walk to the back. So I was this kid, he always used to take me in his car. I also jumped. Everybody said, hey, don't go. I'm going. Where is he going? So he started to go in the back. So there are few men in charge of the building and all that. They used to look after. When Swami was there, they were like, why is he going in the back? We put all the mess in the back. Whatever they don't want, they have put. The trash. This Swami will always go where we don't want him to go. He is going to the back. The front of the building has nice rangoli and toranam, mango leaves. He is not going there. Why is he going in the back now? Unpredictable Swami is going in the back. He is going, but they can't get out of the car to see where. Then Kasturi Garu was a very wonderful devotee. He had this relationship with Swami. He also has jumped out of the car because in case, sometimes Swami requires him to translate. In that using that as an excuse, he needs me to translate, he also came out. So I have come out in one, I must have been 9 years old, he has come out. We have both come to the back of the building. Swami used to walk very fast actually. Swami is walking quickly in the pathway and we are both standing near the shrub, there are some shrubs over there. If we go too close, we are scared because Swami has said, sit in the car. We are both saying, why did you come? Kasturi uncle is asking, why did you come? You should be in the car. I wanted to see what. So we are whispering, Swami, go straight for the shed that was there, little bit further, as far maybe as the dining hall now. And in that shed, there are 2 buffaloes there. So these 2 buffaloes are there. Why is he going to the shed? This thing. See, these 2 buffaloes, they were great devotees. Every day, 3 miles from that hill, they used to go down to bring the water for all of us. So there was drinking water, but for so many 25 people to take a bath and then to wash clothes and wash the dishes, so much water was not available in those days, in the summer especially. So they used to have huge tanks. So these buffaloes would go 3 miles. There was somebody over there who will draw the water from the wells and pour it on 2 big huge drums, we used to call them, It was tied on the back of the buffalo, one on this side, one on that side with the rope. And they would fill it up and the buffaloes will walk back. Somebody will empty that water into the tank. Again the buffalo goes. So throughout the day, from 8 a.m. till sunset, that's all these poor buffaloes, they had to go, bring the water. They were feeding them and everything, but they had to go 3 miles, come uphill 3 miles. Uphill, downhill, bring it. Who worried in our blissful state of being with Swami, going for walk, going for picnic? Nobody was thinking about this buffalo. I think they were giving that buffalo something to eat, that was it. We were too busy to care. Suddenly Swami gets out of the car and he goes right into the shed. We go near, why Swami is going? And those buffaloes, I can remember to this day, he pats both the cheeks of the buffalo and says, Papam, chala pani chesaru kada meeriddaru. Says, you have done a lot of work. You both, You have done so much work for me, for the devotees who come with him. Papa, chala pani chesnar, chala thanks meekiddaruku. Swami is talking like he's talking to us. In absolute normal conversation. See, Bhagavan does not have any barriers. Only we have barriers. This language, this country, that. He doesn't have any barriers. He says, so you have done a lot of work for my devotees. Every day you have brought. Thank you very much. And I could see the tears are rolling down the eyes of these two buffaloes. Edward, Vastan, I'll come again in the summer. Don't cry, he's telling. But the tears are rolling down the eyes of these buffaloes. Swami materialized Vibhuti, put it on both their foreheads, patted their cheeks. Don't cry, I'll come. Chala manchiga pani chesnar, manchi seva chesnar. You did so much seva, he said. And he turns and, hey, Dunnapotala, meeriddru akkadem chestunnara? What are you both doing there behind the bush? Dunnapota. He called us buffaloes. What are you two buffaloes doing there, standing behind the tree? Both of us. I told you to sit in the car. What are you doing? But Kasturi uncle was for us to see and for you to tell, Swami, he said, for us to make the mistake, so that is the opportunity for you to scold us, Swami. Mem cheste, meer chaptar kada. If we do it, you will tell us. For us to do and for you to tell us, Swami. We went back to the car. This is another set of devotees of Bhagwan's that have stayed in my heart. Just through their seva. No bhajan singing, no this or no that. Many of you I know, when I have gone to so many retreats, I know many of my brothers and sisters, they don't even come to the main hall. They are always in the dining room. They are serving. They are cooking. I know in the Mid-Atlantic region, they have 650 people now gathered. All the meals are cooked by the devotees, from breakfast to tea to everything is cooked by my brothers and sisters of that region. They don't even come to the hall. Many times they have not even seen the faces of the speakers. But I remember these buffaloes. That Swami went to pat on the back. You have served my people and therefore I come to you. So there are so many ways to win Swami's heart. You can do it by really absolutely one-pointed focus. Completely thinking of him and nothing but him, like Geeta. Or you can be those two buffaloes and serve him without a second thought, day after day. You may be even thinking sometimes, I don't know what the buffaloes thought. Will he even know that we are here somewhere? But he knows. He knows. So for me, brothers and sisters, the thread that has run through my life is that of the Sarvantaryami. He is always there. He knows exactly what I am doing. And that has been somewhat, maybe when I was a child, not such a happy one, because his eyes are always following me. He knows exactly what I am doing. He knows what I am thinking. He knows what I am saying. And throughout my life, he has been there as a continuous thread, always knowing what I am doing. But you may say, as he said, how does he know that I am there? He knows you. You went in the car with him. You went with him to Horsley Hills. You talked to him. But how does he know that I am there? How does he know that I am there? So I thought today that also is an important thing to remember. He knows each and every one of us. And he's following us with his eyes to see what we are doing, where we are making a mistake, and he provides an opportunity to correct ourselves, where we are doing a good thing so that he can reward us. So one of those things that I remember, when I don't know if it was the ego, I love to talk about this one particular lady. I have moved from these non-speaking devotees to another devotee whom I have a great respect for. There used to be one gentleman in my old Puttaparthi called Dasharath Ramareddy. And He was not, he used to come, I think, from Hyderabad or somewhere, I don't know where. Husband and wife used to come. And they used to be in Puttaparthi during the Navaratri and all these celebrations. And these were only the 8 rooms and all ladies. Many of the men used to come only for the last 3 days of Navaratri because the men had to work. The women would be there. And this lady, once he retired, they used to be for a long periods of time in Puttaparthi. And I remember him as this tall gentleman and we as children. Every day, if he saw any of the kids, he would say, go and ask Amma how much milk she wants for tomorrow. So all the ladies in these 8 rooms would tell him, I want one. In those days, the village ladies used to come and sell the milk in earthen pots outside of Prashanti Nilayam gates. There were no shops. So they used to come at 5:30 in the morning. So you have to buy the milk and the yogurt all in earthen pots at that time. And then they would go away to then tend to their fields. So you would not see them again till next day. So we had to buy the milk and the buttermilk or yogurt in the earthen pot. So he would say, you ask all in the rooms how much milk everybody wants. So we used to write down and tell him, uncle, room number 1 wants 2 pots of this, room number 3 wants, whatever. The numbers we used to tell, he used to go. And without fail, there was no seva that. He had taken it upon himself to do the seva. So he would go and with the big basket, he would bring for each family 2 earthen pots milk, 2 earthen pots yogurt, whatever they had. So he used to regularly do that. His wife, the lady, in those days, again, even now you get, but in those days, these village ladies used to come at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. In the morning, they would sell the milk. 3 o'clock, the same ladies, in huge baskets, they used to bring jasmine flowers from there. Ambur Malige, we call in Kannada. This particular type of jasmine with long stems. Beautiful in Puttaparthi area, it used to grow very nicely. So these ladies used to bring that at 3 o'clock or 2:30 in the afternoon, all buds. So those buds would be bought in kgs, in 3 pounds, 4 pounds, everybody would buy. And guess what they would do, all these people? They would come and pour it in front of Dasharatha Ram Reddy Garu's wife. She used to make garlands. I hope all of you, and especially the young people, if you have not seen, see how they make garland in India with a thread. No needle is used. Just the thread and the flowers they use and tie it together to make garlands. And her job, she used to sit, you would have all seen this, that Tulasi is there in Prashanti Nilayam, even there. She used to sit near the Tulasi. She and this old aunt of mine who used to tell Swami, go away, Swami, we have to do work. They used to sit and make garlands. I don't know how many garlands they used to make to garland Swami. Once for as soon as he gets up in the morning, we all used to garland. Then right after when he does Aarti in those days, Swami used to give Pad Namaskar to all the people who are inside the mandir. Garland him then, right after Aarti. Then after lunch, when Swami is retiring, garland. When Swami comes out, garland. Evening Aarti, garland. Night before going to sleep, garland. So you can imagine how many garlands. This lady's job, she would go on making garlands after for everyone. She never used to get up from that place to garland Swami herself. Her joy was in making the garlands for these ladies. And the men also. Everybody will say, Auntie, can you put Kanakambaram? Can you put the orange flowers, Auntie? Can you put green leaves, Auntie? Some order. She used to go on making, they used to keep on pouring those. So I have seen her in my childhood going on making these garlands. But you know what her joy was? Whenever she used to look through that SSS windows there in Prashanti Nilayam windows, she will look through there. She will see, she will say, hey, your garland I made today, little short, no? It came up to Swami's chest. I should have made little longer. Tomorrow morning I'll make little longer for her. She'll observe how she made the garland. For someone it's a little short. Then she'll say, oh, the old flowers yesterday I must have added. The flowers were falling in Swami's hair, sticking to his hair. Tomorrow I'll put more stronger buds. That's all her focus. Anyway, so she did this for many years. And then her husband passed away. She was by herself. Swami, by that time, I think 50th birthday, South Prashanti, East Prashanti, something, these buildings were built. She was given one room. And then in Sai Kulwant Hall, they made one line for all the old people, Buddhi line we used to call, poor thing. All these ladies, all the old ladies used to sit there. One line was made. Lots of devotees started to come from all over the world. Who knows the Buddhis of these Buddhi line? How much they have served Swami, what they have done? Nobody knows. Just one line of old people, they will come and sit. In that Buddhi line, Mrs. Auntie and Swami, at that point, somewhere in that time, I don't know the year, he stopped these garlands, putting 20 garlands. So many people, 20 garlands. He said, idanta chala waste. So many. Even the photos in Prashanti Nilayam, all the photos also, if you put the garland, too much you people are wasting, go and do seva or something. So garland stopped. So her job, her joy of making those garlands for Swami ended. Poor thing. No more job. Swami was also not talking to her anymore much. Husband has gone away. She's one lady living there. Chances to see Swami just passing by. So many years went by. In 2006, Swami was in Vrindavan. I had gone from the US and Swami was in Vrindavan. So I had gone there to see him. I'm from Bangalore. So I went for darshan, first day as soon as. And as I was sitting in the line where the ladies were sitting on the chairs, I saw Dasharath Ram Reddy auntie. I said, oh, she had changed so much, she had become very old. I told my mother, Mummy, is that Reddy auntie? She said, yes. So still Swami had not come out. So I got up and I went there. I said, Auntie, I don't know if you know me or not. And she said, she looked at me, yes, I know you. Yavar Kutru, whose daughter? She asked. So I said, Dr. Padmanabhan's daughter. Oh, sorry, I know. Geeta Magada, she remembered my name. Then she held my hand. I have one request for you. After this darshan is over, has your mother come? I said, yes. You bring her to my room. Can you come? I'm in the back near Mrs. Ratanlal's room. Can you come there? I want to talk to you. I want to tell you something. I was a little surprised. I had not talked to her in more than 20 years. What does she want to talk? I said, yes, Auntie, after darshan I'll come. So my mother and my father would go inside with Swami anyway. My father used to be with Swami in Vrindavan all his life, 65 years. He was a doctor, but he used to come behind Swami. You would have seen him in some videos and all that. But anyway, my father would go inside with Swami many times, have lunch, and we used to wait for him to come. So my mother and I went inside. As soon as we went in the room, she held our hands and started to cry. Auntie, what happened? Auntie, what? No, I have to tell someone who knew me before, she said. Nobody knows me now. They just know I'm one Buddhi auntie sitting here. Nobody knows me now. I saw you people, you knew me before. I want to share. The most wonderful thing happened to me. I said, oh, Auntie, what happened? What happened? She said, you know, after the garland Swami stopped, I had no work. My husband also passed away. I used to go and sit in the darshan line. Nothing, you know, from far I got cataract, this and that. From far I am seeing. He also was not talking to me. I was also not talking. Only my drishti, I would see him. He would see me sometimes. This went on for 15 years or something, she said. Suddenly, you know what happened? Few days, about 20 days back, some two boys from Vrindavan College, I'm wishing so much that I had asked the names. I don't know who they were. Two boys from Vrindavan College, they came in my room in Prashanti Nilayam. Swami has given me a room, as you know. They knocked on the room door in the morning around 10:30, 11. Swami was in Vrindavan. I'm wondering who. I opened the door. Two boys, you know, these young boys, they're standing with white clothes. They said, Amma, Swami has asked you to come to Vrindavan. She said, no, what do you mean, Swami? Swami has not talked to me for 20 years. Why he is asking me to come? No, I am not coming. You must be mistaken. No, Amma, Swami has said your room number. He has asked us to bring you right now to Vrindavan. She said, you must be crazy. I am not any person important here. You must be going to that Shanti building. Shanti, what is it called? Shanti, yes. It must be there, some VIP is there. Swami must be asking, you boys will get into trouble, you go there. She closed the door. So these poor boys could not budge her from there. They went back to Vrindavan. They have gone there. Again, next day morning, they have showed up, morning or evening. door. She was telling so fun. She says, oh, I opened the door. These two nakshatrikas are standing again in front of me. These two bad stars, from where they have come, they are standing. I said, why are you here again, Appa? I have this one room in Prashanti Nilayam. If you people come like this and knock on my door here, I'm staying, Swami will throw me out of this building also. Please, you go. Why are you coming like this? They said, Amma, are you Dasharatha Ram Reddy Garu's wife? She said, yes, I am. What is it to you? He says, Swami told you to bring Amma. He has told, if you don't come with us, Swami will throw us out of the college. So you better come. So this lady said, poor fellows, these boys have made a mistake. I am old. If he throws me out, it's okay. These young boys are still studying. If he throws them out, what to do? So she went with them. She says, throughout from Prashanti Nilayam to Brindavan, Sai Rama Kapadappa, Sai Rama Kapadappa. I'm saying, Sai Rama, please take care of me. I don't know, I'm coming with these boys. Without your permission, you didn't tell them. She arrives in Brindavan. By that time, it's almost darshan time, I believe. She's sitting there. Swami comes out of Vrindavan gate, she says, and he's heading towards her. She is petrified. 20 years he has not talked to her. 22 years. Comes. No, Dasharatha Ram Reddy, Bharya Kadu? Are you not Dasharatha Ram Reddy's wife? Oh, what is this question? Swami married for him for 65 years. What is this question? She's thinking. So, Avunu Swami. Mari, ee room ledu nidi? He tells the room number in South Prashant. Yes, Swami. Then these poor fellows, they have come there in the morning yesterday. I told them to bring. You have sent them out. Again I sent them. You have given those boys so much trouble. What is all this trouble you are giving in your old age? Oh, I didn't know, Swami. They came and the most beautiful statement she made, he was scolding me, Kamlamma, she was telling my mother, Geetama, Kamlamma, he's scolding me, why didn't you come? Why did you tell like this? All I could hear was his voice. I don't know what he said. 22 years I had not heard his voice. All I could hear was his beautiful voice. And then he said, it's okay, I told them to bring you. I'm going to Kodaikanal with the boys. In 2-3 days' time, you come with me to Kodaikanal. She said, what is this? Swami has said like this. Then he took her, I believe, to Kodaikanal. And he sent one of the ladies there in the Sevadal to take her shopping in Mahatma Gandhi Road. Because she has come with 2 saris from Puttaparthi, convinced that she will be thrown out. He got a suitcase, saris for her, everything. And he said, you know what? First time I went in the aeroplane with Swami, I was sitting behind him. All I could see was his hair. Every now and then he will turn and tell me, on the seat in the back, he'll say, that they will come and give you coffee, you drink it. Finally, I went to Madurai with Swami, went in the car, had darshan. And there he told some of the boys, this lady used to make garlands for me. This lady used to make garland. So she was sobbing and she said, Auntie, how nice. She said, see, I thought he had forgotten me. In this long period of time, when he did not see me, but he remembered my garlands. Now there are no garlands. I only have my garland of tears for him now. But he remembered my garlands. So this whole conversation happened. Next day, Swami called me for interview. As soon as I went, the topmost thought in my mind was this lady's conversation, As soon as I walked in, I said, Swami, edchi now, telusule. He said, I know you're crying. I know you are crying. He said, I said, Swami, Dasharatha Ram Reddy chappindi nu edchi now. She told you, you cried. I know that also. Swami, why, Swami, for 22 years, you didn't talk to her, Swami. So much of punishment for her. What did she do? Ordinary lady, housewife of her old times. What mistake did she do? Garland chestu. As she made the garland, in the beginning it was for Swami, very good, divine garland. Next it was for the devotees, very good. Afterwards, how is this garland? when people take it, it should look nice for them. So slowly the thought process went from the garland for me to the skill that she had. But the skill is given by me. The skill is given by me. So she had 22 years to think about. Now she knows where that skill has come, where the thought has come, where the flowers have come, where the devotees have come, and where it is going. All from that one sai. Everything is sai, 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 he said. She had to reach that state, no? I have come for that job, to raise everyone from that level to this level. Andikele bagundi. Why are you crying so much? He said, you are also one hysteria. You don't need to cry so much, he said, and he talked. So what a beautiful devotee. That Swami made so much effort to raise her from whatever level. We thought as it is, she was very great. She was making for everyone. She never garlanded Swami. But he refined her more and more and more. And then he said, Inki e birth to ledu. She has no more birth. He said, I have come for that. I have come for that. He said, he has taken the trouble to come to raise us from whatever level we may be to that level where we don't have to come back again to go through this worldly maya that he has created. So with these words, my 1 hour of talk is over. And your lunch time is here. So, Sai Ram to all.
Sai Ram. Thank you so much, Auntie, for spending your Memorial Day weekend with us. There's no doubt everyone in the US celebrating the regional retreat at this time wanted Auntie to be their guest speaker. And thank you for sharing your time with us and being with us and not with anyone else today. We signed up for one great devotee of Swami in Geeta Auntie. Auntie, you gave us a glimpse of another great Geeta as well in Swami's life during our lifetime to witness and to learn about. Also, thank you, Auntie, for sharing such intimate stories of Swami that only you could share with us in your inimitable style. And also, towards the end, as you mentioned, the loving Swami that we all know, and also a tough teacher that Swami can be. So let's keep that in mind while we keep calling him loving Swami again and again. Also, in the back of our minds, we should tell ourselves a tough teacher at the same time. I'm reminded of one story, I'll be very quick, of an interview that my grandfather was granted by Swami. And he ushered me in as well. So we both were waiting at the interview door, waiting for Swami to pass so we could go after him, just to be courteous. And we waited. It was a little bit odd if we should go or Swami should go. So we waited out so we don't meet at the door, because only one door would be open. The other one was closed all the time. So we waited outside, and then Swami goes in just before us, and then we walk behind Swami. And my grandfather wanted to take this opportunity to get a brownie point that he understood as soon as Swami asked him to come. So he said, Swami, I came as soon as you asked me to come, and I'm here already now. And then Swami says, if you have come after me, you're already late. The reason I'm sharing that story is because I'm in charge of the time today. And as we say, Kalaya Namaha, Kalatitaya Namaha. So Swami is time and Swami is beyond time. So let's stick to our schedule and not make Swami wait here.